Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So I'm going to start doing like some informal reviews of films, what I've gone and watched recently, yeah? Not in any particular order, there's no particular like structure to any of this. It's literally just going to be, I watched the film the other day, I watched a TV show, this is what I think of it. I'm trying to be like Hideo Kojima, yeah? So I saw Interstellar the other weekend. I have such a hate boner for Christopher Nolan. I won't call him Christopher, I'm going to call him Chris. Oh, Chris Nolan and I, we go way back. No, just because Tenet was... Don't get me started. I will start raging about Tenet. So I had a bit of a Chris Nolan weekend. I watched Interstellar, Memento, the other one with Hugh Jackman in, The Prestige. That's it. But I want to talk about Interstellar because I was extremely pleasantly surprised, confused, and also aroused. It's about Earth facing some sort of natural disaster and then a pilot astronaut getting sent off to space to find a new to find a new planet for humankind. They just have to like abort and leave. So it's got Matthew McConaughey. All right. Also lots of spoilers in this. You know at the end where he's in, again spoilers, where he's in the black hole and then you can see his kid, but his kid is like growing up. They get older, I stay the same age.
I get older, they stay the same age.
It's got Anne Hathaway, Timothy Chalamet, who I didn't really care for, to be honest, because like once, I told you, super informal, this is not a proper review. Once I saw Timothy Chalamet and Ryan Gosling eating they were like taste testing chocolate or whatever, and he was being like, oh yeah, Hershey's is way better than European chocolate, and Ryan Gosling was like, are you mad? You mad blood? What are you talking? Hershey's tastes like, I tried it once, tastes like sick, almost threw up. Sorry. Anyway. It's also got that girl from Twilight, Renesmee. And it's got Matt Damon. So yeah, it's literally about them trying to find a new planet. And they go through a wormhole in space to get to another part of space. Then they find a few planets and then there's a supermassive black hole. And it's all very interesting. But let me go through it. The soundtrack is good. I think in the actual space parts, they don't play any music. Pretty sure that's this film. So well, I'm going to review it, which I liked. I liked that about it. It had very good visuals. I like how the wormhole wasn't a hole, but it was like kind of spherical. And I like how the black hole looked. And actually, they got a theoretical physicist called Kip Thorne to help with the black hole and the science part. Wikipedia says, at one point, Thorne spent 2 weeks arguing Nolan out of having a character travelling faster than light before Nolan finally gave up. Wow. The only man in existence to put Nolan in his place. I commend you, Kip Thorne. There's this bit in the film where they go to this water planet with massive tides, and it's something like an hour on that planet is a few years back on Earth due to time dilation because the planet's very close to a supermassive black hole. And so they go down, they try and do the mission. One of them dies, gets swept up, drowns, I suppose. They get stuck a few hours down on this planet, and then when they go back up, they find, because they left an astronaut alone with the AI, they find that 20 plus years has gone past, and that is such pure nightmare fuel. I loved it. It's so horrifying. It's existentially horrifying. Like, that astronaut thought that he was alone and that they had died and he was going to have to spend the rest of his life just researching by himself with some AI in space. That is so... I love stuff like that because it freaks me out. That's so much more horrible than actual horror films. I saw Talk to Me the other day. Would not call that really, like, nothing. There was nothing scary about that film. Sorry, good film, like fun, not scary. But the thought of just like being alone in space, and then one day the astronauts you left on, like, who were stuck on this planet, come back, and for them only a few hours have passed. Blech. It makes me feel ill. I love it. But it also made me realize that I just don't understand time dilation at all. I mean, I've read about it. I've played games of Outer Worlds, tactical time dilation. I understand it as a concept, abstract, but I just don't understand it. What? Like, if the astronaut had a video monitor on the spaceship, right, and they were like live streaming, I just broke my brain. Say he has a telescope and he's watching them on the planet below. Does that mean he would be watching them going so slowly it would be like they've basically frozen over the, decades? But then say they were live streaming themselves on the planet, and he's in his spaceship and he's watching the live stream. That live stream for them would be a few hours, and for him it's 20 years. So is he watching it in like slow motion on the other end? But how could he? Because it's a live stream. That's what I love about this stuff. It fucks my brain. As far as I'm concerned, time dilation is just space magic. Like, say I'm here right now and I have a massively powerful telescope. Then there's like planet over there, planet over there, planet A, planet B. An hour on planet B is a day here, but then a day on planet B is an hour here. And I was watching them at the same times somehow. Would it be like watching one in slow motion, one in fast motion? Space magic. Like, that is just space magic. See, also, under the category of space magic, gravity. A load of nonsense. Don't believe in it. I'm joking. But the idea that it takes the entirety of the Earth's mass, or like thereabouts, to make sure that I don't float off into space, and that we're constantly being pulled and pushed throughout the universe by the sun. Space magic. How is any of this real? Imagine explaining gravity to someone who has no gravity. How would their form look if they had no gravity? Okay, say they're not made of carbon. Say they're made of like... Space absolutely confounds me. I love reading about it. Like, it's just nonsensical. Gravity. Time dilation. It's chaotic. I'm so fed up of being alive. It doesn't make any sense. Like, when you think about it, it just doesn't make any sense. After the Waterworld fiasco, they get to this icy planet and they get Matt Damon out of hibernation because he was sent there earlier to check to see if the planet was habitable for humans. So he's gone a little bit crazy during his isolation, and he starts trying to kill off Matthew McConaughey, and it's really tense, it's horrible. He's kicking him about this ice planet. And I will admit that I was watching it, I was with my friend, and I turned to him and I was like, you know what, it's kind of fucked up actually, because they've gone through all of this, right? Years away from Earth, children grown up, time dilation, attempted murder, like Matt Damon's just trying to kill them. And they're still going to have to face that white alien man at some point who's also going to try and kill them. I thought I was watching Prometheus the entire time. And I've still not seen Prometheus. Here is a fun fact about black holes from someone who doesn't know anything about black holes. And I heard this once. I heard a physicist talking about them once. If I've got it wrong, don't blame me, blame them. And I tried to Google it. But I heard a physicist once say that a black hole's size is relative to its age, and that some black holes are so big there's not enough time in the universe, like up until present day, for them to be that size. They're so big, they're kind of older than the universe, which is crazy. It's a bit of a paradox. But then I looked further into this, and it is theorized that some of these supermassive black holes collide with other supermassive black holes, and they like absorb each other, and then they get really, really big. Freaks some people out. Think about black holes. I don't really mind it so much because it's like, I guess they could be kind of infinitely big, but then lots of things can be infinitely small, right? So I guess it just doesn't really matter. Like, it's all nonsense. So just don't worry about it. Like, why are we floating in space? Where's the bottom? Where's the top? Doesn't matter, does it? Just get on with things. Just pay your taxes. That's what really matters in life. After the planets are a no-go, Matt Damon breaks part of their spaceship, but then he gets exploded, so that's fine. And Matthew McConaughey sends off Anne Hathaway to the last planet to check that out. And he decides to just like jump into a black hole with his little AI friend. And that was horrifying because I do worry about getting sucked into black holes fairly regularly. Like at least once a week, I'll get a bit concerned about what if a black hole just sucked us up, like the super massive ones that are like 1 billion times bigger than the sun. It is a concern of mine, let's be real. But also, I don't like it when the moon gets too big in the sky, because I then have to do like the fallout, check thing. Because I worry sometimes, what if the moon just decided to fall out of orbit and hit us, and then we fell out of orbit? Well, we'd all die. But what if we survived and we fell out of orbit and we just fell through space forever? I have a lot of concerns. Anyway, so he's falling through this black hole. And I was like, oh God, that's the end of him. And then he seems to enter this type of fourth dimension-y world. Actually, that's why I wanted to watch Interstellar, because I recently watched the chicken nugget South Korean show where a girl gets changed into a chicken nugget. And there's a bit where they're imagining what it's like. That bit is they're kind of satirizing Interstellar, my friend told me. So I was like, oh, let's watch Interstellar. All comes together. South Korean chicken show, Interstellar. So he's sucked into this black hole. He's in like a fifth dimension, and it's all just like fucked, and I hate that kind of stuff. It looks like what were they called? Those little things you looked through, kaleidoscope? No, not the kaleidoscope toy. Yeah, them things. That's what it looks like. All these geometric patterns and whatnot. And then he starts communicating with his daughter and gives his daughter the cure to the Earth's blight problem. Let me look at the Wikipedia, because how did he even work that out in the first place? Let me read the plot again. It has been a few weeks since I've seen this. A tesseract, that's what he was in, not a kaleidoscope. Ah, that's how. His little AI friend, who falls in, like the computer, falls in the black hole as well, and they get the information inside the data, the quantum data captured by TARS inside the singularity, and he sends that back to his own daughter, and then he also thinks that inside the black hole, the tesseract was created by future civilization. Whatever. It's just the future doing fucky things. Kind of like Tenet. Oh, I hate Tenet. So his daughter manages, the Twilight Girl, she manages to save humanity's blight problem. And then I thought, oh no, he's going to die, and he's a main character. Of course he's going to die. Which depends on whether I like the main character or not. Sometimes it annoys me a bit because it's a bit emotional manipulation. Whatever. Anyway, he doesn't. He just gets yeeted out of this black hole and like dropped somewhere near Jupiter, I think, or Saturn, and then he's picked up, and then he gets to meet his own daughter again. I didn't like this bit, right, because she's like well old now. She's like 90 or something, like she's on her deathbed, and he meets her after what, 70 or 80 years, something crazy like that. And obviously they wouldn't keep it all in the film, them like chilling, but they basically have a conversation. They reunite for all of 2 seconds, and then she's like, don't wait for me to die. I've got my family now. You go find that other astronaut. And then he steals the aircraft and leaves. Like that, I'm fine with the stealing the aircraft thing. But the fact that they were apart for like 70 to 80 years, and then she's like, I've got a family now, piss off. She doesn't say that, but it's just a bit, I don't know. I didn't really like that much, but then you wouldn't really show in a film them hanging out for a few days, because it would take, probably take a few minutes actually to flesh that out a little bit. I just didn't like that, but I didn't mind him going to find Anne Hathaway. That's fine. In my head canon, they spent at least a few days together, because that would just kind of suck, right? Like seeing your dad again after 70 years and then being like, go away. But all in all, I liked Interstellar. I don't know how to do a rating system for this yet, because I've only just decided that I'm doing this as a thing. But I liked it. I'd give it a like. Would I watch it again? Probably, like in the cinema or something. I think that'd be quite cool. I liked it a lot more than Memento, which I liked. I enjoyed it, but once you know what happens, or the mystery's gone, so I wouldn't rewatch it. I don't think it's got rewatchable value, but I do think Interstellar has. Anyway, I'm just yapping now. So that's all. That's my review of Interstellar. Decent. That can be it. Dece, not Dece. Dece. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. Support me doing movie reviews or whatever, because it's a bit easier for me to do than the long old book reviews. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.